Okay, here's your Algebra 2 Chapter 2 test. Thanks for tuning in. I am Mr. Brooks the Great, Mr. Atkinson Drools. Yeah, he's in the background. So anyhow, identify the domain and range and tell whether the relation is a function. So that's what we're doing for 1 and 2. We're going to tell if these are functions or not. And all you got to do is write the domain, write the range, and then circle, is it a function or not a function? Okay, remember, for every input, there can only be one output. So take a close look there, would you? One input, one output. That tells whether or not it's a function. Remember, your domain is always going to be the x values, or the inputs. Okay? The range is always going to be the y's. All right? So that is numbers 1 and 2. Take your time, pause the video if you need to. I'm going to move on here. Let's don't get seasick here. Whoops. All right, there we go. Tell whether the function is linear. Key word here in linear is, I'm highlighting, as you can see, is line. So it's got to follow y equals mx plus b format. Okay? It's got to follow that format. If it doesn't, it's not linear. Okay? Then Mrs. Tress is wanting us to plug in 3 for x and solve. Now, whether it's linear or not, you got to plug in the 3 for the x and then solve everything else. So just do all your work down here and circle your answer when you're done. Again, if you're not sure, ask a question. We're going to find the slope of the line passing through these points. Tell whether it rises. Let's highlight this. Does it rise? Does it fall? And then, is it horizontal or is it vertical? So remember, if it rises, okay, if it rises, we're going to have a positive slope. If it falls, it's going to be negative. A horizontal means you're going to have 0 over like 2. Vertical means you're going to have like 4 over 0, right? That would be undefined or whatever. Your formula is right here. So make sure you label your points. I'm going to zoom in here to do that. x1, y1, x2, y2. If you're watching this and you're somebody that maybe you make some mistakes on this, do that. So there's the first one. I'll let you label the second one. You're a junior in high school. I would think you could do that. So there's numbers 5 and 6. Okay, numbers 7 and 8. You need to graph the equation. Don't forget to label your points. It's written right here. Please don't forget to label your points. You're going to lose points and get a worse off score. Okay, remember, B is the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, remember the y-axis is this guy right here. This is the x. Identify your M and your B. Write those in the blanks, and then graph it. Remember, B is your starting point. Okay, this one over here is not in slope-intercept form. So you're going to need to move that guy to the other side. So make sure you get it so that y is by himself, and remember that's a -1 in front of that y. You're going to need to get rid of that as well. So you're moving the 1/3 x first over by subtraction, then you're going to divide the 1 over. Because in the end, as we know, everything needs to look like this. And then we graph. All right? That's 7 and 8. Okay, 9, 10, and 11, all these problems here. We're going to find the line that passes through the points. So here, you first need to find a slope. So your first step is use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Find a slope first. Then I think it's best to plug it into y equals mx plus b. Choose one of these points. Whoops, that's x2, y2, x1, y1 there. Okay. Okay, so once you find a slope, and then you're going to plug it into y equals mx plus b. Find your b. Solve for b. And then rewrite it all. Whoops, need a pen. Rewrite it back in y equals mx plus b. All right? because you're finding the m here. Then once you find the m, choose one of these 2 points, the x and y, and plug those in there and solve for b. And then rewrite it, y equals something x plus or minus whatever number you got. Now you're going to do those same steps for 10 and 11. The only difference is that we're talking about a parallel line in number 10. So all we're going to do is steal his slope. So that's like negative 1x there. So just steal this slope, use this x and y, and plug them in to this. Get your b, and then rewrite it like we did in number 9. And number 11 is very similar in that we're going to do the exact same steps. The only difference is it's perpendicular. So remember, the slope here is 2 over 1. Remember what we got to do? We got to change this around. We got to flip it and change the sign. So I'm going to let you do that. Here's your x, here's your y. And plug them back into this. Get your b, and then rewrite it. Okay? If you have questions or you need a little guidance, let me know. Okay, 12 and 13, direct variation. So they're giving you x and y. Remember, y equals k, x. That's what we're using here. You first want to figure out what is k. All right, let's use green here. Figure out what k is, and then rewrite it. So it's going to be y equals what times x. All right, that's what you're doing on 12 and 13. 14, 15, all you got to do is tell whether it's a positive correlation, negative correlation, or no correlation at all. Okay, so this is what you're looking to write for this one. So take a look at the dots here on 14, 15. You make that judgment, positive, negative, or no correlation. 16 through 18, we're going to use this table right here of values. So first they want a scatter plot. So just plot the points. Remember, x and y. So like, I'll plot the first one for you. It's at 1, 1. That would be right yonder. Okay? Now you plot the rest. In number 17, they want you to then make a line of best fit. So like we did in class, draw your line. Make sure you kind of have the same amount of points above and below the line, but get it close. Everybody's is going to be a little bit different. And then number 18, predict the value of y when x is 8. So when x is here, what's the y value going to be? That's what we're looking for there. And it could be an estimate. Okay? Okay, 19 and 20 are bonus. I'm just going to read these. I'm not going to give you a whole lot of help here. The membership to your local video store is $10 per year, and a DVD rental rate is $3.95 per DVD. Write an equation that models the total amount of money you will spend on DVD rentals this year. So just make an equation. Like, try to figure out, how would you say, okay, it's $10 and it's $3.95 per DVD. Now, you don't know how many DVDs you're getting, so that might be your variable. And then bonus here, solve this equation. Solve for x. You can do that. So, thanks for tuning in. Good luck.